Hey, what's up? This is Johnny from johnnyfd.com. And a lot of people have been asking me what's better, Store Coach or Anton's course, which is Dropship Lifestyle. So I actually have an account to both now, just so I can show you guys what is like inside. So here is Store Coach, and let me move over to Dropship Lifestyle, and I'll just show you the core modules, the most important things, and kind of give you a kind of a real review of someone who not only has a dropshipping store, but who's actually gone through both courses. So I can show you exactly what's the pros and cons of each. So let's take a look. So first, in Dropship Lifestyle, you'll notice there's a lot even before you get to the core modules. All this stuff is very, very good for someone who's a first-time business owner, or someone who wants to go outside of dropshipping and then get into importing later on, who wants to be able to create a really nice looking dropshipping store, e-commerce store, and then even meet up people in person for a retreat. But all you really need is the base course. So this is all I had when I started, and I've been a member of Dropship Lifestyle for 2 years now. All I had were these 7 modules, and that's really all I needed. So that's all we're going to talk about, because with Store Coach, that's kind of the base of it, is just to make a store and nothing else. So first, let's talk about niche selection. Niche selection is by far the most important part of getting started. If you don't have a good product to sell, you're not going to be able to to have a successful store no matter what. So in Anton's course, he talks a lot about analyzing your competitors and creating stores kind of that help each other. So he talks about his price criteria. He doesn't care if what the search volume is or keywords are, because in his video, and I really like it because he kind of does these screen show videos, and he gives you kind of his criteria. He doesn't talk about keyword research or SEO, but in Store Coach, that's what he focuses on. So for his big 4 criteria, it's going to be how much people are searching for the product, and he wants at least 70 searches a day. And he talks about then how to rank. So both will talk about, you don't want to sell things that are seasonal, like Christmas items or Halloween items. You want them both to be profitable, and they both have different numbers. So for Store Coach, he wants you to sell products to at least $100. Anton wants to focus on slightly higher end items, so $300 and up. But for ranking, this is something that Anton doesn't talk about at all, because he actually doesn't want you to focus on SEO. He doesn't care about keyword research or search volumes. He wants you to find competitors who are doing well that you can go in and kind of dominate them, or at least take a slice of their pie. While Store Coach is looking for products that don't have very much competition on the first page. So there's kind of pros and cons to both of that, but that's the niche section. I'll get into that in the traffic. So the next step for Store Coach is how to find suppliers to actually sell your products. There's a lot of information on here, but basically, he explains to you what dropshipping is, and then he wants you to either use a supplier directory. So he really pushes Dropship Blueprint, which is his directory. Or he does teach how to contact the manufacturers directly, but he really pushes using either Pro Edge, which is how to get suppliers basically, or Dropship Blueprint, which is another upsell for Store Coach. It's basically a supplier directory. So Anton actually has a supplier directory, but he doesn't promote it because he wants you to get your own. He basically wants you to get your own suppliers, and he wants you to go direct. I would say that the pros and cons of that is it's easier just to go through a directory. So Anton does have one. It's called Dropship Moz, and it's actually pretty good. But the reason why he tells members not to use that is he wants you to go and do your own research and create a relationship with these suppliers. So that way you're going to get better margins. You're going to be able to maybe get better shipping rates. You're going to be able to build a brand. So it's not just going to be a list of, okay, these are the 500 things you can sell or 1,000 things you can sell. He really wants you to go do the market research yourself, check the the competition, and then get approved directly from the manufacturer. So the next part I want to talk about is, I think this is one of the most important as well, is how you're going to get traffic after you have your store. Because to be honest, there's so much information out there about how to build a store. You can think of a niche yourself. It might not be the best niche, but you can kind of just think of a niche. But what really matters is, now that you have a store up and running, I mean, that's a lot of work to get to that point. But then what do you do to actually get sales? How to get customers? And for me, this is the part I actually jump straight to if I'm going to sign up for a course. So whether it's in e-commerce or drop shipping, or it could be some totally different type of business. Even if you're going to open a restaurant, the first thing I would ask is, where are you going to get customers from? And the problem with most people who are just starting out, they're like, oh, I don't want to think about that yet. Let me think about that when when the time comes. But to be completely honest, you're wasting your time if you don't think about that first. This should be the first thing you want to look at. Now with Store Coach, he talks a lot about ranking in Google. So he talks a lot about SEO, and that's gonna be his primary way to get traffic. How to create link bait content, or do social media marketing, or SEO. So if you kind of take a look through what he teaches, how Google ranks, so you can get to the first page on it. Now he also pushes a lot of upsells here as well. So one is a backlink builder, as well as his Pros Edge again, which is his plugin that he wants you to have basically. So there are, I would say, one thing I really don't like about Store Coach is, even though it's very cheap to start out with, it's $100 to start, and then only $10 a month. There's a lot of upsells inside of it. Versus with Anton's course, what I really liked is, once you're in it, that's it. He's not trying to sell you anything else, which I like. And with Anton's course, the traffic part of it is going to be, I would say the downside is, Anton doesn't like SEO at all. He really tells you to avoid it. And a lot of it is because he's personally kind of got burned from SEO. And he's wasted a lot of time and money with it. So now he only uses paid ads, which I actually honestly think that in the beginning, when you're starting out, you should just use paid ads. Now that my store has been up for 2 years, I get quite a bit of organic sales, or through social media and places like that. But when I'm just starting out, I'm so happy that I only used paid ads, because if you can't make a sale with the paid ad, you cannot make a sale through SEO. So why waste 2-3 months writing content, creating backlinks, doing all these things to get traffic, and then realize that nobody wants to buy the product? So that's why, even though it would be nice, and he does, he talks about it very briefly, but he mainly pretty much says don't use SEO. So if that's the route you want to take, then Store Coach would be the better brand, or the better product to go into. But if you want to stay away from backlinks and writing content and trying to rank on the first page of Google, and you just want to pay for ads and get the sale, then I would say go with Anton's course. So kind of there you have it. That's the main the main part of these two stores. There's a lot of info in both. I wrote a full blog review, so if you want to read it, it's on my site, johnnyfd.com. But basically, you get what you pay for. Store Coach has tons of info in there, but it's all text-based, while Dropship Lifestyle has probably a lot more info, but it's all screen share based, which for me, I learn better, because I like seeing someone screen and show, having someone show me their back end and how everything works. With Anton's course, it's kind of more straightforward, where he says this is the one thing that you want to use. So for example, the platform, he says, he's tried BigCommerce, he's tried WooCommerce, he's tried all the plugins for WordPress, but he recommends Shopify, and he says use Shopify. That's it. He says that's what you want to use. While with Store Coach, he says, well, here are the 5 that you can use, and he lets you choose. And I would say the good thing about that is he does give you options, but the bad thing is, for someone who's starting out, having too many options is not a good thing. I'd much rather have someone just tell me, say, hey, I've done the research. this is the one you should use, and have everyone in the community be on the same platform. So if you have any questions, if you have any help with anything, it's a lot easier for them to answer that. With Store Coach in general, he's kind of very open-ended with a lot of things like that, where, they don't even tell you to dropship. They say, well, if you want to dropship, this is how you do it. If you want to do this is how you do it. And so it's very open-ended. For some people, they really like that. So if you're the type where you don't mind spending a lot of time researching it on your own and figuring out things, reading a lot, clicking a lot of links, then Store Coach might be good for you. But if you're like me and you just want a formula and say, I want the 7 steps and that's it. I don't want 5 options for each step. I just want, the one best option, and I just want to follow something that works. Then I would do Anton's course. As far as pricing wise, Anton's course is a lot more expensive to start out, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing because there's a lot of upsells in Store Coach. And if you end up buying all the upsells, it ends up being almost the same price anyways. But to me, I just don't like getting nickel and dime for things and then having to pay a monthly fee. So with Anton's course, the way it's structured is it's a one-time payment, or you can do you can split that up to 4 payments, but that's it. Then you have lifetime access. Every time he updates it, you get access. Where Store Coach, you're paying monthly after that. So even though it's only $100 to get started, every month you have to pay money. So to me, I'd rather just have it and not worry about it than get a rebill. So I do understand some people are on budgets, but the last thing I want to kind of say is, I know for a fact with Anton's course, when you're in it and you actually put your time and you do what he says, in 2 months you're gonna make your first sale and you're gonna make your money back. And from that point on, you have a profitable store. Most people I met make $1,000 to $4,000 or $5,000 a month running their stores kind of full time or while traveling. I haven't personally met anyone who's done Store Coach and been successful. I'm sure there are people who have done it, but I've literally met 50 people in person who have been successful with Anton's course. So that's why I always recommend it. And by looking at the 2 courses inside, I can honestly 100% say that for a beginner, for someone who wants to follow something step by step, Dropship Lifestyle or Anton's course is going to be the way to go, because it's a lot more straightforward. It says, I'm going to hold your hand through these 7 steps, and then you're going to have a store. While with Store Coach, even though it seems like it's cheaper to get started, time really is valuable. And I know a lot of, when I was starting out and I didn't have any money, I didn't think my time was valuable, to be honest. I was like, well, I'm not making any money anyway, so why not spend 3 months researching myself? But the truth is, time really is valuable. And if you spend 3, 4, 5, 6 months trying to do it the cheap way, that's $6,000 you're missing out in profit. And the biggest problem is most people don't even get to that point, where there's a big chance that you're going to give up after 3 months and say, well, this is not working. Dropshipping doesn't work, so you just move on. But trust me, dropshipping 100% works. If you want to follow a course that does work, I know for me 100%, I would suggest and recommend Anton's course, and that's why I promote that. But I actually am an affiliate for both. So if you do want to sign up for either Store Coach or Anton's course, please do it through my link at johnnyfd.com so I can get credit for referring you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below, or just leave a comment, shoot me on Facebook. See you guys. Good luck.